plan to say to European leaders in Davos when they push back on your Greenland plan?
Well, I don't think they're going to push back too much. Look, we have to have it. They have to have this done. They can't protect it. Denmark, they're wonderful people. And I know the leaders are very good people, but they don't even go there. And, you know, because the boat went there 500 years ago and then left, that doesn't give you title to property. So we'll be talking about it with the various people. We've had tremendous success, and I've done more for NATO than anybody else. I don't think you'd have NATO right now. I got them to go 5% and pay as opposed to 2% and not pay. I've done more than any other American president for NATO by far. And we'll see how that goes, but Greenland is very important.
The standoff between the United States and Denmark over control and influence in Greenland continues to escalate with every passing week. What began as quiet diplomatic tension has now turned into a full-blown geopolitical confrontation in the Arctic. Reports suggest that the United States has been secretly gathering highly sensitive intelligence about various strategic sites within the icy Arctic territory. These locations include both civilian facilities and areas of potential military significance, raising deep concerns in Copenhagen. According to several intelligence assessments, the US Army has actively sought classified information about key Danish military installations in Greenland. The revelations appear to confirm that Washington is conducting independent reconnaissance far beyond what existing agreements allow. Experts warn that these same Danish military installations, along with Greenland's airfields and major shipping ports, could easily serve as staging grounds for an invasion or direct military takeover of the island. This has prompted urgent security reviews within Denmark's defense establishment. The existence of US spying operations in Greenland was first brought to light by the Danish newspaper Berlingske and later covered by RT News, which described the activities as extensive and organized. The reports have ignited widespread outrage among European commentators and Arctic analysts alike. Analysts argue that these American moves directly violate long-standing defense and intelligence sharing agreements between Copenhagen and Washington. Diplomatic sources say the breach has put unprecedented strain on decades of trust between the two NATO allies. In a surprising turn, US President Donald Trump is reportedly pushing forward plans aimed at acquiring greater control, and possibly even ownership, of Greenland. The proposal is being framed as a strategic move rather than a direct territorial acquisition, though critics remain skeptical. Greenland, the world's largest island, is a treasure trove of untapped mineral wealth, hosting rare earth elements, uranium, and valuable metals beneath its icy surface. Despite its vast landmass, the island is sparsely populated with just about 56,000 residents, most of whom are indigenous Inuit. President Trump has stated that Greenland's geographical position makes it absolutely crucial for the United States in countering Russia and China's growing presence in the Arctic. His administration views the region as a critical frontier for future military and economic dominance. However, Trump's aggressive initiative has created an unmistakable rift between the United States and many of its European allies. What was once a closely coordinated alliance now shows visible cracks as European governments express unease over Washington's unilateral Arctic strategy. The European Union has formally opposed any proposal that would alter Greenland's political or territorial status. Brussels maintains that Greenland must remain under Danish sovereignty and that the Arctic should remain a zone of cooperation, not confrontation. In a controversial response, Trump announced new tariffs targeting 8 NATO nations that had sent only symbolic military contingents to Greenland. The move was interpreted as economic punishment and a warning against resisting Washington's Arctic ambitions. When asked about possible retaliation from European nations, the US Treasury Secretary issued a stern warning, telling allies that any economic countermeasures would be met with broader financial restrictions. The declaration further deepened tensions within the transatlantic partnership.
I just want to say this is a false narrative that There is no talk in European governments. This was a report written by Deutsche Bank that this could happen. The media has latched onto this. I think it is a completely false narrative. It defies any logic, and I could not disagree more strongly on that. If you look, the U.S. Treasury market was the best performing market in the world, or the best G7 performing bond market, and we had the best performance since 2020. It is the most liquid market. It is the basis for all financial transactions, and I am sure that the European governments will continue holding it. And as I said, I think everyone needs to take a deep breath, do not listen to the media, who are hysterical, just like they were, just like you all were. Let's just go back to what happened after April 2nd, hysteria. And what happened? We had the fastest stock market recovery in history. So I think these false narratives, get out there, get spun up out of control. When I was an investor, part of my success was sticking back, looking at the medium and long term, and ignoring the media.
And so just to follow on to that, so you do not believe that the EU or the UK have any retaliatory financial instruments or measures in their bag that the United States should be worried about?
No. It's been 48 hours. As I said, sit back, relax. I am confident that the leaders will not escalate and that this will work out in a manner that ends up in a very good place for all, for national security, for the U.S., and for Europe. Thanks.
Danish security officials have grown visibly alarmed by the recent spike in American intelligence activities on and around the island. Sources in Copenhagen indicate that the scale of surveillance operations has expanded dramatically in recent months. Denmark's Foreign Minister, Lars Løkke Rasmussen, addressed the issue in an exclusive interview with the Wall Street Journal, expressing deep frustration over the allegations of U.S. spying. He noted that the revelations have severely shaken public confidence in bilateral cooperation. Rasmussen told the Wall Street Journal that he was greatly worried about the situation because, as he put it, "We do not spy on friends." His statement underscored Denmark's expectation of mutual respect and transparency, especially among long-standing allies.